Hey, welcome to Anything But Anything Goes. My name is Miguel, and today we're talking about everything,
shit?
man.
Oh my god. Hello. Welcome to the Anything But Anything Goes. My name is Miguel. That's Matt over there. And today, folks, welcome to episode 56. Nothing crazy, nothing super special. We're just going to get into all Apple all the time, which has always been my favorite fucking thing in the world. Matt.
Our favorite thing, okay.
How you doing, baby? How you doing?
I'm good. Kind of a tight day, as we just talked about, in terms of errands and shit. So I apologize for my sloppy appearances as always. But on the flip side, I got Tyson nuggies, and it feels like I feel like I'm in 7th grade again, coming home from school. So it's a good time. Just got some new furniture coming in.
Delicioso.
And then I've just been banging out New Vegas and making music and potting with the boys.
So strange.
I'm enjoying my time.
You guys are like grinding out New Vegas right now.
Because you know what it is? Because right now, it's kind of cool because you know how we do this thing on Xbox parties where it's like we'll be playing different games but we still vibing.
Yeah.
This is even better because, I mean, it's like with Jedi, but I feel like different with New Vegas because we're all doing different things so we can help each other out with certain shit. Like, hey, blah, 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 you remember this and that? And then like, oh, yeah, and it starts a conversation. And then you talk about life and you go back to New Vegas. Cool time. How are you?
I'm okay, dude. I'm going to crash. I guarantee I'll crash like halfway through this episode. I just had another cup of coffee. Today was one of those fucked up days at work where I got there at 4:45 and it just felt like this horrible grind for the first like 5 hours of the shift. But then, those last couple hours kind of flew by. I had a lot of stuff to do. I got my stuff done. Now we're going to podcast. Since we're podcasting a little bit early, I'm going to go like sit down and play some zombies maybe. Depends on what's going on. True. I'm officially at like the little home stretch. I have another 4 days off coming up on Saturday. So I just got to get through like tomorrow's like a nice mid shift. Friday's a nice mid shift. And then I got a couple days to sit around, do some cleaning, do some podcast, and the nice simple little happy stuff.
We like to hear it. We have no enemies. We're living life. I love to see it.
Oh, we have enemies, but like, I got enemies.
You know who does have enemies is Desantis. He's got enemies with Twitter.
This fucking guy.
Oh my god. Desantis. Dude, first of all, well, I'm sorry. You go first.
No. You go ahead, man.
Okay. Desantis oh my god, I fucked it up one more time. Desantis brags about breaking Twitter space via the Newsweek, which is true. I was there for this. It's so awkward. So, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, my almighty God, who's apparently fighting Michael the Rat and other battles in Orange County.
Michael the Rat.
Is running for president. And interestingly enough, he took to Twitter. I'm not sure who else was in the space. I kind of forget who. I want to say Elon was there as well. I'm pretty sure Elon's a big supporter of DeSantis for his policies. But he announced his running on Twitter only for it to be a complete and utter fucking shit show. Yeah, it was. Okay, it says the article here with Elon Musk. Yes. It was so weird because you got in and it's like, am I on? Am I on? Is this thing on? And it bounces out. Am I on? Is this on? Okay, I'm just running for president. I don't know, man. It was just so funny. Like it's not like we're not talking politics. I don't give a shit what you like. I find me and Miguel would like to state that I feel like we could speak on both of this for both of us is that we look at politics like it's a meme at this point.
Yes.
It's not like 2016 with 100%. Trump where like it was super serious. It's like now it's like if a celebrity could be president, anything's fucking possible.
Dude, you remember when people talk about The Rock running for president?
And people 100%. Were freaking out about that. I'm like, dude, you know how fucking funny that would be? He just gets up there and does, it's like, give me the veggies. Iraq just bombed.
Can you?
I like my dessert. The economy's up by 35%.
Oh my God. All right.
Can you smell what the Rock is cooking?
What the economy is cooking. No, I was going to say, dude, so we've talked about this, right? At the end of the episode, I'm going to talk about like the fun stuff that's coming up to look forward to probably for the rest of the year. Episode 69, okay? We've joked about it being the sex episode, about just like not doing it. Episode 69 is going to be the politics episode, and I cannot wait for us to sit down and genuinely like express some of our feelings when it comes to modern politics and have some people just get so fucking angry. Okay, we get so many angry people from the regular, like, talking about Star Wars. What's going to happen when Matt gets up there and goes, yeah, I'm going to vote for DeSantis. You know, I really do believe that he's right about Michael the Rat. And
he's right, man. Fuck that rat. Motherfucker charging
God.
how much for a drink? Not even for alcohol, mind you.
Honestly.
Bro charges $7 for a water. What happens if I die, bro? Because no lucky seven?
Man.
I'm just going to die on the fucking ferry in Epcot, bro. I'm going to die underneath the
so
golf
bad,
ball.
Man. I hate how much I love Disney. Honestly, I don't even think it's that I love Disney so much. I think it's I like just not thinking about things for a day and just being in like that happy environment. And then when you get home, you're like, oh, look at that credit card bill.
Oh yeah, that was me this week.
Yeah.
But back to Elon, or sorry, not Elon. Back to DeSantis and Elon, both of them. It was just a mess. But you know, I understand. Like it was, you know, these guys are trying to be like more modern with a lot of the stuff that's going on, especially being more on social media because irreputably, Twitter is kind of the shitpost space for politicians and congressmen.
Yeah,
more so than Instagram or not.
Anymore.
You don't even get that shit on TikTok. Twitter's the place for that. And you know, I mean, hey man, you know, people have their opinions about the guy. I mean, I'll just tell you right off the bat, I think he's a fucking fudge nut. But you know, at the end of the day,
he's a
at the end of the day,
what does that fucking mean?
I don't know. It was a funny goof, and I love voting season because especially you're gonna just see more goofs and memes of, dude. I want to see the debates turn into AI. That's gonna be a good time. That's gonna be history.
Oh my god, man! I can't wait. Because just to get a little political for a little bit.
Sure.
I love the older our generation gets and the generation after us, like the smartphone era kids. The older we get,
wow, we're kind of in the middle right now.
Yeah. Exactly. But the older we get, like, you know, it used to be. Oh, no, is Matt leaving?
I don't know what she said.
Oh, God.
No, that's whatever.
Bro, it used to be like, you know, the whole world was watching these debates and the presidential campaign and whatever. And as time's gone on, you talk to people like for me in high school and middle school, you talk to your friends and be like, hey, you watching the debate tonight? People are like, I don't give a fuck about any of that. Okay? What are they going to do? Complain and the white man is going to drive all the shit. I don't want it.
But
okay?
you remember we used to be kids where it was like we actually gave a fuck. Like, oh, this is our future. It's like no, that's just how it's always
bro.
been.
Now I'm just like we're
That's
burning.
how it's
Okay,
always been.
if you show me one candidate that like will stop it from burning, okay, fine, I'll pay attention a bit. But right now it's just like, who's got the biggest dick? Donald Trump or Rob DeSantis, man?
Well,
mine's 7.1 inches.
like,
Mine's 7.14 inches. Like I don't give a shit.
It kind of just feels like you're at a lunch table and. You know, it's like you're seeing like who has the best burns, and that's the person that leads the whole country. So.
I'm just waiting for someone to yell food fight so we can be done with it. That means a bomb.
That's civil war. Onward. Spider-Man across the Spider-Verse.
That was the best fucking transition you've had thus far, Matt.
Ball status, let's go.
Across the Spider-Verse, early reactions or first reactions. The movie comes out this Friday or today. By the time you're watching this, Matt and I will be in the theater this night or tomorrow night. I think I'm going Saturday. I think we're going
Saturday also after work. So
W.
It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time. I'm excited.
First reviews are in, and honestly, this is one of the few movie series or just movies in general that I could sit here and be like, yeah, you know, they told me it was going to be good. The first one was really good, and I believe it. And it makes total sense. I'm not surprised that a lot of people are like, oh, it's a fucking 10 out of 10. It's one of the best animated movies I ever see. Not a surprise.
Of course, dude. And I mean, the first one was just as good.
The first one was amazing.
Well, it's just there's a lot of thought into it because this is able to do what the MCU Spider-Man really... I mean, it still did cinematically. But if you're talking comic book wise, like this one just gets it across the board. So much to explore.
This one knocks it out of the park, man. Just from the art here in the front, I could just see all the different, like, you got fucking 99 and Scarlet and even the PS4 version. Like it's wild.
Yeah, no, and plus too, the soundtrack's really great as well.
Oh yeah,
friggin' Metro Boomin's producing it. Got a bunch of good new songs from him and other rappers. I'm pretty sure it's like Nas, Future, Sway Lee. Dude, let's get Sunshine Part 2. There's a bunch of people. I think it's going to be a good time. What I like about it is it's very, it actually caters to like youth, which again, like you could say that about MCU, But MCU feels like it kind of caters more to like either late 20-year-olds like ourselves or little kids. This feels like it kind of gets like the middle demographic, like Gen Z, Gen Y.
And the goal with
the
this
reason
feels
that's
like
so
it's to get
great,
everybody.
yeah, and the reason that's so great is because it doesn't feel really out of place. Where sometimes with other stuff in MCU, it kind of feels like forced, I guess you want to say, because the story's great sometimes. But
is that Tom Holland?
Is it?
I'm just going through the photos.
That'd be a cool feature list,
they're just like
bro.
listing all the Spider-Man that they see, and I think that one's Tom Holland. I think that's like Far From Home.
Overall,
I'm
pretty excited,
dude. I can't wait for this.
Same.
This is gonna be amazing.
It'll be fantastico.
Fantastico. Onward.
Seems like you know what else is going on with the Flash? Because apparently, the director said that for the Flash that they don't see them replacing him anytime soon, regardless of kidnapping or random bullshit,
or grooming, or burglary, or harassment, or choking a woman outside of a bar.
But anyway,
Ezra Miller. I think it's the first of all, I'm excited as fuck for this movie. You know, separate the artist from the art, whatever. I think it's so funny that they're doing exactly what we said they were going to do. A year ago, when all this was going on and they delayed the Flash, we were like, they're just going to pretend this shit isn't happening. They're just going to wait it out and hope everybody forgets. And that's exactly what they're doing. So now you got people in interviews being like, hey, is Ezra going to stick around? You know, because of all the shit that he did. And they're like, what are you talking about?
What
do you mean? He ain't do nothing wrong. They ain't do nothing wrong.
Ain't nothing wrong. I mean, I guess this kind of goes to show those arguments again about, you know, like who... What's the word I'm looking for? Like separating the artist from the art again. Like that's the whole sort of argument.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, for what it is, I mean, if it's a good movie, it's a good movie, but it doesn't excuse the actions. You know, I think that's really where it stands for a lot of that sort of stuff. And it's just surprising to see how much, you know, trust they put into him. And you know, the problem is too, they haven't really done like any PR campaign to really repute that, you know?
Yeah, and I don't expect them to.
Which I mean, maybe it's just me, but I kind of find that a bit alarming because it's like you're just going to excuse people like that, and that's been happening for like decades in the entertainment industry. But still, like that's, you know, I mean, I'm sure. Ironically, at the end of the day, from what a lot of people are saying, it's going to be a good movie, but in turn, too, it really makes you question, man. Like, I don't know. That's just me, though, personally.
Here's what I think. They're either going to... This whole thing is going to go one of two ways, right? If the movie comes out and it does phenomenal, they're going to have Ezra do this whole campaign of just like apologizing and, I'm going to rehab, I'm going to fix myself and whatever, and they're going to keep Ezra around because the character and the casting makes sense based on the quality of the movie. Or if it underperforms, they're going to kick Ezra to the curb. They're going to be done with them. And they're going to be like, yeah, you know, it makes total sense. It's just, what are we supposed to do? We spent like $400 million on this fucking movie. We can't just like not release it.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, that's where it comes down to also. It's like the money. And it's like, I get it. You put so much fucking dollars in this shit. But still, you know.
Dude, you know what, too? They're being a little desperate. Did you hear about what Variety reported for who's in this movie?
What did they say?
Hold on, ready? I'm going to give people a spoiler warning. You got 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Nicolas Cage is in this movie as Superman. As in the Superman that was going to be made in like 1998. That never happened.
What?
Yeah. You've never seen that before?
Well, no. But I mean, it doesn't really stray my perception. I'm just more shocked at the fact that it was Nicolas Cage.
Oh, dude, it's wild. Hold on. Let me send you the...
That's crazy.
I got it up on the screen. Let me see if I can just...
That's nuts, dude.
Copy image. Oh, dude, it was a whole thing. Like, there's...
Oh, dude. That's fucking weird.
Paste. There you go. It's going to look like Photoshop too, but it's not.
It probably is going to look Photoshopped. Let's see. Hold on. That looks...
Oh, there's like an actual photo,
That looks extremely Photoshopped. And that's recent, or is that 98?
No, this is from the 90s. This is like... There was a whole Justice League movie that was being made.
You know, I'm going to be honest. He looks really bizarro status in this.
He really does, especially with that suit where it's like the deep fucking neckline.
It looks more like you would see this like in Hollywood magazine and be like, Nicolas Cage goes to big parties as Superman. Amazing costume. Like as a Halloween costume, it's great. For a movie, absolutely fucking terrible. No. But you know, for what it is, man.
There's a photo that I saw.
If they do it correctly, sure.
I'm
but
fine with some random shit. But like, why are you gonna do this and not fucking put Henry Cavill in the movie? Are you fucking kidding me?
That's just so well, because Cavill just has like, I mean, I've heard The Rock talk about it a little bit. At this point, Cavill just has some beef with DC Studios at this point. I mean, I know they say it's pretty non-aggressive, but to be honest, it's like you've seen interviews from both, and it just goes to show that, nah, dog, it's fucking, no. I don't think he'd want to do another movie with them.
Oh, no, I'm sure. But like, at this point, like, did he film some stuff?
I'm sure he did, but it's also like, I feel like he's just
cut shit out left and right.
He's just been mistreated so much by the brand at this point. And that has nothing to do with the new leadership in James Gunn at this point. That completely has to do with old leadership and...
Yeah, the old guard.
You know, yeah. I mean, even ironically, as James Gunn went on record, I'm pretty sure I want to make sure this is right before I say it. But I know he had an opinion about... Yeah, even he said here via Entertainment, he said, James Gunn says Henry Cavill was dicked around by former DC execs, never recast as Superman. Yeah, so even James Gunn was like, yeah, like, even I wouldn't want it because he was just so tossed around and used incorrectly. It's like, why would you go back?
All that again?
So,
poor guy.
You know, but excited to see The Flash, excited to see the rebirth of the DCU, and hopefully it's something that, you know, it's going to sound really fucked up. I hope they actually become good competition to Marvel again because they were fucking up I mean, they didn't even have a running chance.
No.
Not even from the beginning. So hopefully it's a new era for them. So
I hope so.
Onward.
Martin Scorsese meets with Pope Francis, announces film about Jesus.
He's kidding, right? Dog, what is this? What the fuck? Martin Scorsese is on a post-Cannes tour of Italy, where over the weekend the director, known for having religious bent, met with Pope Francis and announced that he will make a film about Jesus via Variety. You know, come on, man. What? I mean, I'm not opposed to it. It's just...
Well, like,
I mean, you're talking to the wrong people here because it's like, for me, I was like forced to watch that
Passion of the Christ
with Mel Gibson in St. Mary's.
It's a lot.
Yeah, we were like in this dark room. It looked like a freaking dungeon. You're gonna watch this shit.
10 years old.
Yeah, you're gonna watch the blood of Christ. I'm like, okay.
You're like,
which, by the way, objectively as a movie, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
It's a good, I don't know. Well, I mean, I'm assuming that if it was shown in Catholic schools, it depicted pretty closely to biblical literature.
I'm pretty sure it's rated R, and it's very...
Well, it's very gruesome. I think it's honest, you know, because I mean,
it's deliberately that way, yes. Wasn't there talk of a Passion of the Christ sequel, too?
That was like a joke in 2010. I saw that on South Park. And they're like, Passion of the Christ 2, Jesus returns. And it was like some action shit, like of like him like shooting guns at like Romans and shit. That would have been amazing. But yeah, I do think there was legitimate talks of it.
Matt.
What?
The Passion of the Christ Resurrection is an upcoming epic biblical drama film written and directed by Mel Gibson, starring Jim, when? Whatever his name is, as Jesus. The film is a sequel to Passion of the Christ 2004, where it will focus on the 3 days between Jesus' death and resurrection.
Dog, where do you come up with this shit? Oh my god, that is something. Ooh,
comes out February of next year. Wait, is this real? Is it in filming?
It says already watched. What the fuck
in January 2023, a report stated that the film will begin production in mid 2023, around spring. Yeah, so we'll see.
I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know.
It's
what is it? What they're making the Bible too?
That's a sequel we've been waiting for, dog.
Dog, I've been waiting for this my whole life. But nah,
Can't wait for
so
the Bible 2.
So back to Scorsese, right? It's like, I mean, okay, like I'm not really opposed to it because Scorsese's a pretty good director.
We're just like,
I definitely like him as a director more than Mel Gibson. you know? So,
Yeah, that's facts. That's facts.
I don't know. Well,
We're not the demographic for this movie, and that's fine.
pretty
You know,
much.
we are the demographic for. Oh, bro, WWDC's coming. So
What would the cut? What would the cut? 2023. There's a lot of shit here, man.
Or
Oh
it's
my God.
DC. So
Woo, woo, woo.
it's ooh DC.
Woo, DC. Woo,
So,
the cut 23.
As for people who don't know, we're big Apple fanboys. We always have been. As much as I talk shit and say that I
Tech
want to get
Theory
like a
days,
Pixel,
baby.
whatever.
Yeah.
So even when the Anything Bowl came back last year, we usually do a leak roundup and then a reaction to the Apple events. And during the Tech Theory days, you know, that was like 2021. That was when Apple did the whole like, oh, we have an event in September and October and November and December. So then we had to do we were like, here are the leaks. Here's the thing. It cut like 2 or 3 weeks later, we'd be like, here's it coming. Review. Oh my God. So this is just the big roundup. Everything that's been leaked and talked about and kind of announced or really just assumed.
Yeah.
We'll go top to bottom. Matt, I'm going to kind of take the wheel on this one. So that way I can get us through the stuff that might happen, probably happen, and definitely happen. Okay?
Yeah.
So, under the probably happen, we've got, where is it? MacBook Air 15-inch. There's been rumor and talk of a 15-inch MacBook Air coming out. It would be the exact same design as the one that came out last year. The redesign, like the 14-inch with the M2 chip.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly, this new one, even though it's been a year, will have an M2 chip in it, which doesn't make a ton of sense. But people really just like MacBooks. So, MacBook Air 15-inch, they want a bigger screen. I'm sure it's going to come around like $11.99, $12.99 probably, which is far too fucking much for what it is. But you know, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, whatever.
Yeah.
There's also a supposed leak that it's going
option.
to be around or maybe have the M3 chip because supposedly that's been in production. You have the new 3 nanometer process. It's an actual bigger leap in terms of specs rather than M1 to M2. Make sense?
I mean, it's plausible because, you know, at the end of the day, it's like they would probably want to circulate an Air that size to get the upcharge on it. But then again, I'm in the same vein too. It's like I don't know. Well, because I think they did that the last time too, no? Because they put the M2 in the Air before they put it in the Pro, I'm pretty sure. Am I guessing
yes,
on
exactly. No, you're right.
So,
that's what they did. They put it in the Air and the 13-inch Pro with the touch bar.
Why they do that, I'm not too sure, but you know.
Well, it's the same reason that they put it in, or they put out like the iPhone SE or something. It's a design that's been around long enough that year over year, if they keep manufacturing it, it's cheaper. So they're making more money without raising the price.
Makes sense.
And some people like the
keep it
touch
up.
bar. You know, they're probably people in prison or mental institutions.
I like the touch bar.
The touch bar is a fucking waste. Okay, that's why they got rid of it.
It's
Anyway,
not a waste. It's underutilized. I tell you. Bro, don't sit here and tell me that you didn't use messages and you had the emojis up top.
well, then again, Matt, you have a touch bar, okay? I ain't never used that MacBook Pro.
I don't give a damn. It's a good...
I had a MacBook Air and then a Mac Mini, and then I'd be swearing by the desktops. All right,
It's a good feature that got no love.
because it sucks. So
Stupid.
we have our two reactions: would buy, would not buy.
I mean,
MacBook Air 15
Hands down, would not buy.
would not buy. Do not need whatsoever.
No.
Number 2, we have the long-awaited Mac Pro. Listen, doesn't make sense. Mac Studio exists. It's the same fucking thing. Okay, M2 Ultra almost as strong as the
like, how do you
$15,000 thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how do you get better than that? I mean,
You don't. You take the Mac Studio and you say, look, it's the Mac Pro. Now it has the M4 Ultra Omega chip in it.
Unless they have slots for graphics chips and stuff
Which
like that.
does make sense.
I can see that as a possibility.
I heard some talk not too long ago about Apple making their own like discrete GPU. Could be pretty cool.
The problem
They've got
is,
the power.
from what I understand, is that like, especially with a lot of their, like, if you just talk about video editing and stuff, it's obviously pretty modular in terms of the encodec. But in regards to, let's say gaming and stuff,
Garbage.
even if they did, it's garbage because I think it's something to do with the proprietary system of,
Yeah.
it's like they don't really have like I don't know how to describe it, but essentially they don't have like an up-to-date version like DirectX 12 or something like that. where it's able to handle a lot of the programming to the hardware. So in that sense, it's like, but hey man, if it's powerful enough, if that shit runs Blender or any fucking crazy 3D modeling softwares, I'm here for it, you know.
I'm gonna put this in the would not buy category because
this is hands down would not buy. Kidding me? What need?
This is like their way, their gateway of money making. This is like, oh, you know, it costs us like $3,000 to produce. We'll charge you $15,000 for it. Oh, you want to buy the one that costs us $6,000 to make? Fine, pay us $50,000. We don't give a shit.
That is what you call a loss leader. So I don't know. That bitch leading the loss.
It's aight.
Yeah. But right. Onward.
Let me see what else we got next. The probably will happen. The headset. The headset's been talked about, I think, to death. And I think it would be really funny if it doesn't actually come out this time, because every leaker and every outlet is like, hey, here's what the Apple headset looks like. Here's what it's called. Here's how much it's going to cost. Here's what it's going to do. Here's the cool cameras, the OLED screen. Do you need it? Will you need it? I don't know. When's it coming out? It's coming out on this day in the fall. This thing looks cool as shit. Mm-hmm. Do not get me wrong. I'm really tired of hearing about it. That's for fucking sure.
Well, it's, for one, definitely, it's not going to be released to the public, at least if it were to come out, in my opinion. If it does, that'd be very surprising.
Oh, no, it will be for the public. It's just the buy-in is going to be crazy. It's going to cost like $3,000.
Yeah. I mean, shit, unless you're like a Momo. My thing is, I saw some rumors about it being that, you know, it's going to take a lot like the straps from the Apple Watch. That
yes, it's got the dial on top from the Apple Watch. It's gonna the operating system is named XROS.
It's going to be transparent, apparently. So that'd be interesting.
Think of it kind of like sunglasses, where it's like, or rather, no, it's supposed to have cameras on the outside too, and it's gonna like display your eyes and shit.
It's gonna look funky as shit.
It is.
Your eyes are gonna look like those fucking what's that shit? The fucking those masks that like make the emoticons and shit.
Exactly. It's cool. It's pretty cool. It's supposed to be
the
both,
battery
VR, AR.
The battery pack's rumored to be external, and you put it on the
wire
side
plug into the side.
I think that's fucking stupid.
No,
but again, it's a
battery.
Prototype practically. So
well, it's not even that it's a prototype. It's you want it to be it's Apple, so they want it to be the most comfortable thing. They want it to work the best that it can, and that, if you take out the battery, you take away the heat, you take away the weight,
you make it lighter, but. No, I know, but what I mean by that is just that, you know, either way, it's like when people were getting the Gen 1 Apple Watches. Like, it's just a complete and utter fucking experiment to see if it catches on.
Well, yeah, and that's exactly what this is. This is the first, like, new product category they've had since the Apple Watch, and that was almost 10 years ago.
Yeah, so I did hear that they gave the OS, rumored to give the OS out to developers early so then they could start, because at this point you have to rebuild everything.
Start making stuff. I'm excited for something new, I'll get, like, the headset 4 when it costs like $1,500 instead. I
mean, we've been saying this since 2020 that like AR, it was either AR or folding phones. Man, that guy's a nice car. It's either AR or folding phones, maybe both at this point. But I think I bet you they're trying to see which catches on fire first.
Because the thing is, for the Apple Foldable.
I mean,
I don't think it's ever going to happen.
I have my opinions, dog, but I'll keep it to myself. But I just know I'm team AR glasses. I just want the glasses, man.
You always have been, and that's okay.
That's what I need, man.
That's what I need.
Onward.
Now I think in terms of the definitely going to happen, you got iOS 17, and there's like 25 different fucking things that people are saying about iOS 17. It's I had the list here. Where's Mac Rumors? iOS 17. There we go. So, smart display lock screen. Kind of think of it like a nightstand kind of thing. You put it on like a wireless charger sideways, and it's like, oh, here's the time. Kind of like, when you put your Apple Watch on the charger, you set it sideways, and it turns into like your alarm clock kind of looking ththing.
So it's just doing always on display, but with just like
basically,
a clock.
But it's going to give you like some widgets and some little stuff. It'll act like a smart display, like a Nest Home or a Hub or something.
I hate that shit right off the bat.
I think that's a great idea. I'm fucking fine with it.
I've always hated always on displays. I've never I never liked them. I mean, okay,
I don't like
I
Apple
give the
Edition.
credit if it's like something like that for when you go to bed. Sure, maybe, but I don't know. I've been going boomer status the past 3 months. I just have an alarm clock. I don't use my phone as alarm clock anymore.
That's fine.
So, well, but again, like if that's in that context, I think it's fine.
I like it. I use a MagSafe stand anyway. I just pop it on there and turn it sideways instead. I'm down. There's a dedicated journaling app coming, which...
Dog, just use notes. The fuck is that?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's the same fucking thing. Why do you... But see, it's also going to track, like, your daily activities and some of your locations and some of the health stuff in there, so it can track, like, how you... I think it's a little too intrusive, but it's Apple, so I'm sure they can, like, sway me whichever way.
I mean, maybe. I mean, I'm not going to be... I'll agree with you. I'm not... Cause maybe it could be useful in the sense of, like, if it's, like, combined reminders with notes, I think that'd be cool.
It's a more in-depth journaling kind of system.
Because, I mean, maybe it'd be good to, like, if you have a morning routine you like to keep up with or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think that's
like
fine.
Little stuff. There's a lot of really good apps for journaling. I don't know why Apple needs to make one.
Yeah. Well, I don't...
What is Apple?
Yeah. Control interface be updated. I mean... How that might happen, I don't fucking know.
I'm fine with it, dude. Control Center needs a new look. It's been like that since we got the iPhone 10. I'm fucking fine with it, man. Just for the sake of something new.
It worked at the time to have the widgets and the buttons the way they are, but I think there needs to be a bit more of I kind of like the... See, it sounds already fucked up, and obviously be like stealing an idea, but I kind of like the way that Android's situated, where it's like if you slide down and then you do the extra slide, you could do... Yeah, that's nice. Along with the focus modes, I think that'd be great because it's like,
oh my God,
you could really organize like the shit that you actually give a fuck about,
Yeah, and dude, can we just talk about how they've hit it out of the park the last few years too? Like, fuck all the little updates, but focus modes and lock screen, those two things alone are like,
it really helps with productivity. I think at least in my experience it has been. So, excuse me. So
onward, more functionality for the dynamic.
Dog, I mean, listen, I've had a dynamic island for like about a month now. You've had it probably think about the same amount of time, right? You've had it
I ain't got no dynamic island.
Oh, that's right. You got the...
I got the 13
right.
Pro.
Yeah, you still... I always thought you upgraded. No, you ain't there yet.
I'm getting the 15.
I could be an advocate for this. I say that, it's all right. I could see where it might be going. Like maybe if they added like pause play function for music. Maybe if they... I would hope to see too, like they have like the island extensions, right? So like you have like app within app shit, but like, if you're on like maps or something. What was even cooler, I remember this was a feature on the Pixel. You can do like what you do on Mac, like left and right screen. So you can have like maps open on one and you can have Apple Music open on another. If you're like in the car, just example. That's a nice little feature. So
just a split screen mode.
Yeah, be nice, but that's what I think they could use with Dynamic Island. Huh?
I think it'd be cool. I mean, not even having like a floating widget. You just put it in the Dynamic Island. That could be okay.
That's what I'm saying. It extends, and if you want to put it away, just tap it or slide it up.
Just tap it, and you'd be like, bye-bye, bitch. All right.
Bye-bye.
More interactive widgets moving in real time. I think that's cool.
That would be cute.
I think the static widgets we have now work really well. But if you put something like the one that people show a lot is the music player.
Yeah.
Music player moving around, or you could have like lyrics playing on the screen.
That'd be nice.
That's great. Search improvements. All right. Health app to expand to the iPad. Why the fuck isn't it there to begin with? The calculator. Why the fuck isn't the calculator on the iPad?
Health app will include new mood tracking functionality, asking users about their day. Dog.
That'll connect to the journaling app.
Just get a therapist, dog. The fuck?
Honestly,
I mean, imagine AI therapy, though. That'd be kind of fire. Maybe.
I mean, like dead ass, man. AI therapy sounds pretty good. I don't know.
Here's a link on how to not kill yourself.
The health app, to me, it needs a bit of like a refresher in terms of like aesthetics, or rather just the UI, not even the aesthetic.
It needs better.
I fuck with the health app, bro.
Tracking analytics too, though. I feel like.
Nah, fuck that. I like the health app. A lot of it you just have to put in yourself.
It's fine. It's just it needs better tracking analytics. What I mean is like what you're saying. I'm agreeing with you. Just like the whole interface of it all. That's all.
Yeah. Oh, just the UI.
Well, because what I don't like too, right? It's not personalized. I don't like that you gotta
click into so much shit.
Well, okay. For instance, right? Like if it talks about your heart rate, it'll just explain to you generally what it is, but it won't really talk about like your trends like as an analysis. And I think with AI that'd be really cool, or even
Yes,
sleep
it
as
does.
well. It could be like, even as stupid as it sounds, right? Oh, we've noticed that you're on your phone at this time. If you go to bed at this time, and you'll have a better REM cycle this way. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much like in-depth shit.
But I feel like the problem is it's the sensor of the Apple Watch, you know? Because first of all, the only way you're going to get that kind of good heart rate tracking is with the Apple Watch. And from your wrist and just the tech built into the Apple Watch, it hasn't really jumped leaps and bounds in a couple years. You can't do it alone with that. You would need like that and like an Aura ring or something.
Well,
Or like a dedicated health tracker.
well, being someone within the medical scene, Apple Watches have been more regarded for a general use case than most other, at least from what they said.
Yes.
Especially with the blood oxygen sensor, they said it's probably the closest consumer tech you can get to medical grade equipment when it comes to that sort of stuff.
problem
It also
is
uses a lot of the same
dedicated.
sensor, huh?
Right? Because it's not dedicated as something that's just a deliberate health tracker.
It's generalized, but you know, I mean, the thing is, you and I both know, like, especially there's people that buy they're buying the Watch Pro right now. That's like, they do marathons and shit. They keep track of their calories on that bitch.
Yeah,
Dude,
and
I met a marathon
no, like,
runner
added
that did
sensors
this
into
shit.
that.
Was that?
Like to think that they're like, oh, you know, we're going to charge you double for this watch. You get a bigger screen. They're not like, oh, here's some added health features or like sensors or benefits or anything. They're like, nah, action button. Hit the button. Start whatever you want.
Bada boom.
What?
Bada boom.
Minor lock screen updates. Yeah,
It's just font size.
I like the lock
yeah.
screen already.
I mean, I just want some more fonts. I need more options, but I feel
Lock screen interface to gain support for lyrics. Cool.
Nice, cool. Manual adjustment options for app folders. I mean, yeah, I'm here for that too.
Whatever.
Okay.
Not like I look at it.
You use folders?
No, I use folders, but I mean, like, I don't know if it's talking about like the app library folders where it's only on like recommended or auto-made stuff where it's like, oh, this is your gaming, this is for finance, and sometimes things just don't carry over.
Yeah,
That I don't care
know.
about.
More streamlined and intuitive wallet app. Okay, I'm here
that's
for it.
right. That's right.
Let's
I'm
talk
here
about
for.
something besides my spending. Let's talk about spending habits, right? Jesus Christ,
That's
probably
right.
the next shit they're gonna add in there.
Package tracking and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Find My improvements. That's cool. I like Find My.
All right, got to keep those bug updates up. Support for side-loading apps in
Whatever,
Europe.
bro.
Well, thank
I
God
don't
we
give a
America,
shit.
baby.
I don't give
You
a
motherfuckers
shit.
were American.
I don't care about side loading.
So,
But then again,
honest.
that's just me because this is like I don't pay for apps. I don't pay for shit in apps. I'm not trying to play Fortnite on my phone. I don't give a shit. All right, Apple's made it streamlined. It's simple. It's fine. I don't care.
What do they got in WatchOS now? New widget system. Ooh.
Yes. So supposedly there's a whole redesign coming of the like the home screen where instead of you have the honeycomb or even a list, it's going to be like app bubbles and you put widgets between the bubbles type of thing, which I'm here for. I don't necessarily understand why we need widgets when that's the whole like main screen of the watch anyway. But
Yeah.
okay.
I hope it's not too cluttered. Buttons like the digital crown could be more customizable. Oh, I would love that. For me, I would probably. For
I
me,
customize the other button.
What was that?
The other, not the crown, but the other button, the longer one. I don't fucking use that button for anything.
I mean, I just use it to close apps, but I mean, yeah, sure, I guess. I don't know. I just thought it was a multitask button.
Yeah,
So-
but how often are you using the multitask button? You could double click the crown, it goes back to your previous app. I don't need that. I don't need whatever. Let me customize
but-
this button like an action button.
I just shut off the apps. I don't know. I'm just too used to that.
You
I don't know.
actually close those apps?
Yeah.
Really? I ain't never do that.
I mean, it helps my battery. Shit.
Is it real? I don't give a shit.
This bitch goes 2 days sometimes. I don't know.
Really?
I mean, I wear it a lot too. I don't know.
Well, yeah. I just started tracking my sleep again, so my charging cycle's all off.
Oh damn! Watch that bitch be saying you only get 6 hours of sleep when you go to bed for 8.
Nah,
So
I'd be sleeping only 6 hours because that's accurate. We struggling out here,
Well, 6 hours is now the average for adults, which is funny.
which is
It's not funny.
good.
It's fucked up.
It is fucked up. iPadOS 17 is basically iPadOS 17
There
is
you go.
going to be the same thing as what they did last year, where it'll just be iOS 16, meaning it'll get features like the lock screen, customizability, other shit that came to the iPhone last year. I think it's funny that they went, hey, we're going to separate iPad OS and iOS into two separate things because they're two separate product categories. And instead of making certain things for the iPad, they went, hey, we're just going to delay features for 12 months from device to device. That
why
is fucking
the
stupid.
fuck not, dog?
Whatever. It's fine. Yeah. Last two things. tvOS 17. I haven't heard anything about it. Me being the Apple TV lover that I am, I'm sure whatever they tell me about it, I will download and go, yes, Apple. That's very nice. And lastly, macOS 14. Again, I haven't heard too much about macOS 14, the same way about tvOS and iPadOS. Mm-hmm. But I just hope that whatever they do, they can fix whatever the fuck happened like a month or two ago. Everything used to communicate really well, my phone to my computer, my watch to my computer, and then they put out some fucking macOS update, and nothing wants to talk to each other consistently. So macOS 14 should be called macOS 14. We fixed it.
Hopefully, right? I don't know. I mean, mine does a good job communicating, but that's just me.
Whatever. When was the last time you updated?
Like last week.
All right.
There was an update last week.
Okay, maybe I just need to throw it all away and start over.
Maybe so. Has powerful specs, can't communicate. Manly man. Overall,
WWDC.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Some of the shit you're talking about.
Dude, that's on Monday. I'm off on Monday. I can watch it. I don't get to watch the Apple events because I'm always working like a fucking adult.
I might be able to see it too.
Live reaction stream?
I'm gonna be honest. Half the shit you said, I didn't really give a fuck about. Not because you said it, but because it's like some of that shit just doesn't. Because the only shit that I really cared about was the headset, the iOS 17, the MacBooks, and maybe the WatchOS. But the OSs, I never really... Because my thing is like, just make it work. What you said,
Make it work well.
I don't give a fuck. Just you don't even have to announce it. Just say, yeah, we're updating it. It's going to fix a lot of problems. Check out the patch notes. Okay. Make it simple. You don't got to put this whole fucking list. Oh, we fixed this one minor bug that makes
We did this, and we did this.
It fixed the spacing between text, so now it looks less stupid, even though you couldn't tell before.
I think that's so funny. That happens so often that they just change little things like that, and you're like, I noticed that too much. Why did you do that? Why did you need to do that?
Keeps them in business.
All right. Let's move on to reviews.
Okay. It's going to be a short review list.
That's right. Oh, that's all right.
That's fine.
Movie reviews. Matt, you can go first.
Honestly, never mind. No. So, the year is 2008. I was but a young lad. My dad showed me the first Borat movie. And for what it was, fucking hilarious at the time. You have him washing his hands in toilets. Being disrespectful to women, saying they can't drive, just running around naked the whole time, fucking with a boarding house that's full of Jewish people, and he's from Kazakhstan. Like it's just a funny ass movie, man. It's fucked up, but it's so funny, and it was a good social commentary in the time of how people viewed immigrants, which I thought was hilarious.
Yes, which is
But then. This came out in 2020. I saw about it. I didn't really care much for it because I'm like, I don't know if it's going to stand up, right? And for what it was, like, it's not bad. It's not good as the first one, but it's okay. Like, it's really funny, too, because it's not like he just keeps up the Borat thing going on the whole time.
Yeah.
The main premise of the movie is, like, he travels around with his daughter from Kazakhstan, which is played by Maria Bakalova. So of course it's like typical, like, guerrilla cam, like real people fucking with them. I'm sure some of those people were scripted though. Let's be honest. I don't know. Cause I feel like nowadays the way that shit is, you wouldn't be able to get away with that sort of stuff. I think the funniest shit to me, this is, so the whole purpose of the movie, right, is that like they want to become Americanized. Whereas in the first movie, Borat's just trying to understand American culture. So they want to be, so they want to be in the water. So I gotta say, the funniest scene to me is when he takes his daughter to the gyno, and they're just sitting there and like, oh, my daughter's pregnant, and then they came back. And that's just so like, well, she is pregnant, and then he goes into talk about like Southern incest and shit, and I'm like,
oh
dog.
My god,
I'm like, what the fuck? And it's just like, you could tell this doctor was real because he was like really fucking uncomfortable. And like, he was so upset that he was like, you're happy about this? Like, the fuck? But that's just one example. But I would say there was, I just felt it wasn't as risky as the first one. I felt like the first one, like he was doing shit that could actually get him shot. where he
Yeah.
was. Where this is
Yeah.
like, it still was just as bad, but I think,
But less.
yeah, it was just toned down a lot. But overall, like 6.5 out of 10. So
Damn, because that first Borat movie is like a 9 out of 10.
that is like a 10 out of 10. That Dictator and Bruno, fantastic movies.
3 for 3.
You saw Spider-Man, or at least you rewatched it. I'm assuming.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we're doing the tier list coming up, and instead of watching all the Spider-Man movies, I might watch it like Far From Home again, or Far From Home again, just to like remember
Get
the movies
refreshed a
and
little
shit.
bit.
But we started with this one because Timmy's never seen this one, and we're going to go see it on Saturday.
Boy.
This movie is it's like a 9.5 out of 10. It's almost there for me, and I couldn't tell you why it's not a perfect 10. I just know, like, story wise, great, very compelling. Miles is a great character. The animation style is wild, and I know it's been talked to death, like the variety in terms of animation from character to character, but it's great.
Mm-hmm.
The soundtrack is stellar.
Yeah.
Sunflower. Great. Kingpin as a just very tall, wide man is hilarious.
Oh yeah, he's a fucking boulder, bro. He's like, bro, be taking up half the screen sometimes.
He does. It's really funny when he gets out of a card. He's just like, boop. Cast, voice acting, great. Between like Mahershala Ali, Haley Steinfeld,
Yeah, she's great. Shamik Moore.
John Mulaney, I forgot was Spider-Ham in this, and I thought that was fucking hilarious.
Oh, that was
Where
awesome.
He started talking, and Timmy was like, "Oh, look, it's the guy that did drugs." It's like
It's the guy that everyone knows John Mulaney for that, and it's because I saw this fucking. I'm gonna talk about him real quick because when he did this movie, that's when he had the rehab shit. So then I saw his podcast. He's like, John Mulaney comes out in a fucking suit and does all these great things, and then when he did crack, I was afraid of that motherfucker. He's a cool
afraid
guy,
of that
though.
motherfucker.
But
Overall, like, dude, this movie's
yeah.
great. It
Animation
shouldn't work
style's
as well as it
fantastic.
does. Like this. Oh,
Huh?
Ooh.
Ooh, what's ooh?
So, no,
Is everything ooh?
Ooh.
Oh.
This movie, it should work as well as it does, right? I know Spider-Man is just like the people's favorite superhero, and that makes sense. But not enough people really know the diversity of the character or really comprehended the multiverse at this point, because it was before Marvel had started doing it and The Flash and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it works, dude. It works so fucking well, and I can't wait for this next one. I just really hope they don't blow it all, right?
Yeah.
In the first one, you're like, oh, there's five Spider-Man or 6 or whatever. Like, that's great. Okay. In the new one, they're like, every single Spider-Man is here all at the same time. I'm just nervous that they're going to go, oh, here's all of them. And then the last one, they're like, oh, well, we blew our load in the second one. What do you want us to say?
Yeah, I hear you. You don't want to overuse the concept, so I completely see where you're coming from. I mean, it's definitely going to be more in this movie, so we'll just have to wait and see. But I mean, there's also, you got to realize, like, between, Marvel comics, especially in the 80s and 90s, there's just so many because I remember a lot of the reasons why they reinterpreted Spider-Man is because it's supposed to reach different markets internationally, right?
Yes.
So because of that, I'm sure there's even more that we're not even understanding of, and they might even make up some of their own, which I think is just as cool.
Yeah.
So I'm here for
movie
it.
gets a 9.5 out of 10. I thoroughly enjoy it.
I agree. I think it's a good time.
All right.
Music reviews. Let's bring it on home.
Never mind.
Honestly, oh, you want me to go first? Okay.
Yeah. But
Honestly, never mind. So, with this, it's like, right? So I'll tell you right off the bat. I remember when this was coming out, yeah? Everyone was hyped because I think like he announced it like 9 p.m. and this shit was coming at midnight. Drake's becoming like M or whoever that just does random drops, and I like that.
Yeah,
At least for me
cool.
personally, I like it. So when this came out, I was like, shit, like, all right, let's gonna see what happens. And I saw, at first, what's really funny is I think even Apple Music didn't know it. They categorized it as hip hop. And I got into the intro, I'm like, this is like some European weird ass shit. Some fucking house music.
What's going on?
So I was like, I wasn't disappointed. I was actually kind of vibing with it first. And then I dropped off from it. And like Drizzy said, they don't understand it now, but they're going to understand soon enough, and they're going to hate themselves for it.
That's right.
And lo and behold, I understand. I think it's mostly just because I've expanded my palette a little bit too. Now that I've been listening to like K-Tronada and a lot of house artists now, like hip house artists and stuff. So I understand what really going for. Now, it doesn't mean that it's a perfect album by any means, but I think today even I was like really vibing with it and I said, wow, okay. My biggest complaint with it was that it was definitely more centered around the production than it really was focused around Drake. But I think now in turn, it's, to me, I gotta be honest, like, sometimes it sounds like a fucking...
You sound very stressed.
I'm stressed because, like, you know what it is? Like, like when you really want to like something, but there's just some things that are, like, not that you're hating, but you're confused about. And I think for me, with this album, it just comes down to, like, yeah, there's good lyrics sometimes, and there's a good message going on about, like, love and which is weird hearing from Drake, right? Because usually it's all this, my bitch just left me, and now it's just like, I'm in the club and my bitch just left me, and you're just sitting there like, I don't know how to feel.
Dancing.
But I mean, if you really get into things, it kind of goes back and forth between that, I would say,
Yeah.
So, I'll give you a couple good tracks, right? Like Text Go Green is a nice little, I mean, Falling Back's a good intro, but Text Go Green really is an intro for me. A Keeper just has like this really like anticipated like EDM build up into like this massive drop. Sticky's the best song in the album. Does like this Jersey club beat and like the best bars. Got to have that Virgil Abloh sample in there too. Like we weren't supposed to make something this clean. Downhill is great. Liability is just like a slow and reverb version of a regular Drake song. Of course, you got Jimmy Cooks. Fuck a pigeonhole. So I'm gonna give it
21.
You do something for me. I'm gonna give it like a 7.5 out of 10. My initial rating was like a 4. But I think I've grown to love this a bit more.
I remember that. You're kind of like, we're very similar in that way, where certain albums will hit us a certain way, and then over time, either you grow to love it or you grow to hate it, and then vice versa.
Exactly. So I'm here for it. And then lastly, for me, Baby Keem and Kendrick Lamar.
This dropped like yesterday, right?
Dropped yesterday, only on YouTube though, sadly enough. And
what?
Yeah, which is weird. I don't know. But again, I think this may be what intrinsically sparked my interest to review Honestly Nevermind, because it takes a lot of flows from that song, from Sticky, but it also has like a Bon Iver sample, and it's kind of cool to see Keem's and Kendrick's chemistry. And a lot of people are saying this is going to hint at a collab album. So I'd be interested to see that. I think their chemistry is great.
Yeah.
And I think right now what Keem is doing is that he's making Kendrick come out more in color, which again, I'm not mad that Kendrick talks about his feelings and shit. He doesn't really have a miss for me in his discography right now, but
yeah,
it's nice to hear like he's just. I sometimes I don't feel like I get to hear enough of the pimping out, get bitches and stuff type Kendrick, and this is the vibe for it, and I love it. So I think it's definitely an 8 out of 10 single for me. Probably even
W.
It's not a 9 yet, but I think it definitely will be a 9. So
W?
Yeah, massive W. Yeah.
Okay. Last one. Surprise. 2 months later, I'm reviewing so much for Stardust again. So my goal initially was to do a 1 month later kind of thing. Because this is what happens with us. All right. We go, oh my God, our favorite artist put out music. I love this so much. And then you try to be more critical on it. But because we try to be more critical only like 1 or 2 weeks in, we're like, oh man, this is still phenomenal. And we try to be deliberately hard on it, even if we don't really have to be, just because we feel like there's too much bias there.
Yeah.
So of course I went through my thing where I listened to it a bit, and then I listened to it 24/7, and then basically forgot it existed, and then came back around. Now 2 months later, I have since come back around. I've listened to the album mainly because the CD's in my car, and Timmy's in love with the album now. She was like I with it before, but now she loves it. She's like, this is the perfect summer album. Keep this in the car the whole summer, whatever. Dude, this album, I think initially we said it was like an 8 or a 9 out of 10. I still have to say I give it like a 9 out of 10. It has done nothing but grow on me, and even the songs I didn't like are now like favorites. Like What a Time to Be Alive was initially my least liked song on that album. It's, if you could track the plays in my car the same way that you can track plays on Apple Music, it would be my most played song by a mile, because the vibe is still, again, it's a Patrick Stump song before it's a Fall Out Boy song, but the vibe is so fucking good. I'm like, man, I don't care that you're talking about COVID and COVID is, whatever. This is still a great vibe. I fucking love it. What time to be alive? Great. Okay. Yeah. Top to bottom, there is not a single miss on this album, and I've come to believe that now. You got the first single, second single, Hold Me Like a Grudge is great. Fake Out is the summer song, and Matt has it on his Tinder. Everybody go take a look. Heaven, Iowa,
Yeah.
so good right now. Great. The Pink Seashell, I don't fucking care for the skit. That's why it's a 9 instead of a 10. I Am My Own Muse is great. Flu Game. Baby Annihilation is still so weird, but now I'm like, alligator tears, but do something, cry out. I took off the mask, and there was another one underneath. Emo. I vibe with it. I'm not going to listen to it deliberately, but I fuck with it. What a Time to Be Alive. The Kintsugi Kid, 10 years, and then title track is still the best one on the album. What a Time to Be Alive is probably second, but it's up there.
Yeah.
Still a 9 out of 10 album. Still got to say, I wish they would put out a deluxe. They're about to go on tour. Give me more.
I hear your sentiment, and I think a lot of it I do agree with. Like, these are good songs, but I don't think that it's stood up well to me. I think it's, for me right now, ironically, it's dropped down like a 7.5 or an 8. Because it's a good album.
That's
don't get me wrong. But, I still stick to my original review. I think I said in the review it was like an 8, 8.5. Now it's like a 7.5, 8. It's still a great album. It's just that I notice the flaws more now. Like,
and that comes with time.
The Seashell and, Baby Annihilation isn't really my favorite, but I could see how it's other people's favorite.
Yeah.
I think I still stand. Like, it's like it has a good energy in the beginning, kind of dips it a little bit in the middle, and then kind of picks up it again in the end.
Yeah.
So it's not bad, though. It's
to be fair,
it's their best record to date. So
you and I both have patterns, but our patterns are different in terms of time length. Like for me, it takes a couple months to be, this top tier fucking, it's all I listen to, whatever, to then not want to hear it whatsoever, to then come back around and like it even more, like see it clearly. You're the type of person that goes, man, I love this. And after like 6 months, you're like, to be honest with you, it's mid as shit.
We review it, so, well, no, it's not, but that's not what I'm saying.
That's what happened with Mania with you, and I think that's hilarious.
But I'm not saying that Stardust is mid. I'm just saying that it's just some of the quality and where it just kind of came down.
I'm not saying that's what you're saying now. I just mean in terms of your pattern, from what I've noticed with albums, that's how you are. You love it, and then we're the same. But for you, it takes a lot more time because you listen to a lot more than I do. Well,
because I sit with it more, and it's also too, we review it pretty quickly,
Yes.
Which again, I mean, take that as you will. But it's like, for me, it's like, I don't really form a really good opinion on something until like maybe like a month after it's out, maybe even. So yeah, no, I agree. But that's the vibe, kid.
Oh, okay.
Very glad though.
9.5 out of 10. 9 out of 10. So that is it. That is it.
Oh my God,
Episode 56 in the books, in the bag. Swoosh.
Yes.
W. This is actually a lot of fun. I really like talking about Apple stuff.
It was fantastico. Kind of felt like an older episode for sure.
Exactly. Do the thing.
I don't feel like doing a thing today. Go check out all the socials, baby.
Are you hitting the wall, bro? I hit the wall like 10
I'm hitting the wall too. Yeah,
you started talking about I think when you started talking about Borat, I was like, fuck. I could
just check the links in bio. You're gonna find everything there.
YouTube, Instagram,
subscribe, follow,
Twitter, whatever. Here's ready.
Yeah.
Now let me lay it out for you. Here's what you missed. Right. Today's Friday. Happy Friday. Enjoy your weekend. On Wednesday, we posted the Ultimate Assassin's Creed tier list. Because the Mirage trailer dropped, so we got to join on the hype train. We have very similar opinions, surprisingly. Before that, we did our movie review for The Little Mermaid. We thought it was a lot of fun. We enjoyed ourselves. It's aight. It's not as bad as people say. Before that, we had episode 55, Logic on iPad, and Netflix is dying. Netflix is dying because they're trying to get people to pay for more shit. Logic on iPad. I said I was going to use it. Haven't downloaded it. Completely forgot. I'm too busy. I'm an adult. Get over it. Coming up, right? Next week, you got Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. We're going to do the review on Monday. Wednesday, we'll have the Spider-Man tier list where we're going to talk all of the Spider-Man movies. That doesn't include the Avengers movies because they don't count as Spider-Man movies. And then we'll have episode 57. Probably going to talk about WWDC. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that a ton. And then let me just tell you what's coming down the pipeline, down the line, right? A couple things to look forward to. First of all, Spider-Man stuff. Brendan's going to be with us again. Brendan's going to talk the tier list. He's going to talk whatever, or the Across the Spider-Verse review. We're all going to have a great time. Down the road, you got episode 69. It's going to be the political episode. Can't wait to talk about that. That's going to be a lot of fun. Way down the road, in about November, when we talk the Marvels, we are going to officially do the MCU tier list.
It's going to be a good time.
I think, in terms of like big episodes, I think that's all we have like.
That's the year plotted out, baby.
Like 100, like episode 100 won't be until like next summer, I think.
Wow,
and that'll be scary.
That's weird, man.
I know.
As long as
I
we
know.
got with it. So
Yeah, but we're happy. We're doing good. I do want to say thank you for the subs, people. We are exponential growth is great. Oh fuck, dude, 175. Thank you, everybody.
it's almost 100 subscribers in 3 weeks.
I know. We appreciate
nuts, dude.
every bit of love that everybody gives us. Make sure to
For
check
sure.
out the main episodes as much as you do the shorts. There's a
sure,
lot of
for
work put into all that stuff. But,
No,
thank you.
Thank you for watching. Goodbye.